All right, everybody, it's time for your favorite time of your entire week. It's time for another episode of Survival of the Fittest is the soup du jour. I'm Roberto Treviño, and I'm here today in the sanctum of beer. I'm here on holy ground, Orlando Brewing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually here. You hear me talk about it all the time. You hear me just boast about their beers, how good it is. And here's the catch. I'm with the owner and founder, John Cheek, the guru behind this great beer, the IPAs, all their flavors, because there's a ton here. And if you come here, you'll know exactly what I mean. Not only does it feel like beer sanctum, but it also just has a great homey feeling. You got great pictures. You got old pictures of old Orlando. You got great pictures of John, and obviously a huge Old Glory behind me right here. And you go to my Instagram and you can see that picture of Old Glory, John and I. John, how you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling great after that introduction.
You know what? I call him like I see him. I think you're just a genuine guy. The first time I met you, you brought me a jug of Orlando Brewery, and I remember you had this like this twist about it where you kind of like flipped it up on your shoulder and awesome. So, I said to myself, now there's a man who's got character, who just knows his business, who knows his beer, and he's willing to just be really bold about it, So what can I say?
Well, people can't tell me to be quiet. That would be rude. So I just continue to talk.
Nice. So tell me, what do you think about, obviously, I'm not going to ask you about what do you think about beer, but your beer in particular, and I just, one of your guests just left, and he just was raving about your double IPA.
The Grand Ole Opry.
There you go, right? Americana to the max. The Grand Ole Opry, and he just kind of went on and on how it was the best beer he's ever had. People love what you're doing. I know I do. I love it. In fact, I don't think we've done a podcast without mentioning that you have been a very... you back up the podcast with your beers, and it keeps us like going forward, so.
Well, you got to have something for people to strive for.
Agreed. So you got all these vats. This place is spectacular. I've been around different places, like wines and olive places in different parts of the world, and this is the kind of place where you could come, you can sit. It's got a beer garden. It's got the indoor bar. Massive amounts of the beer that they're brewed here on property, right?
Everything, all 37 of those beers are brewed right here on property.
And you come up with these recipes, or you just kind of...
Well, we've come up with them over the years. Right. We when we first started, we had two beers. We had the blonde and the pale ale. And then we had a whole bunch of other beers. Harpoon IPA, Young's Double Chocolate Stout, a lot of different beers. And as we went through... we would see, there's a Newcastle. Well, then we'll just make a brown. And our brown is only like 20 or 30 times better than Newcastle.
Nice.
But I was striving for 50 times. But
And there's that laugh. You know what? I always say to myself, man, that guy's got a good laugh. I remember you come to the restaurant downtown. It was always just great because, you just really take over the room. And I love that about that. You got that charisma. Which I think, like any proprietor of a business, like this, where people, they really kind of just come to you there. You're like a magnet. And it's that charisma, and certainly the talent. The talent always helps. And what I mean by talent is just this beer is incredible. And I'm a beer guy. I have the belly, and everyone who knows me knows that I have the belly to prove it because I'm not a big eater. But I'm a big beer drinker.
Yeah, that's been my issue, too.
Yeah, you're in great shape. I was just thinking, how does he stay so in good shape? What the heck?
Well, I know that you're lying, but I love how you do it.
Right? Well, I wish I well put, sir. And we are sipping. I'm actually sipping, of course, on the IPA, the I-4. And anyone who lives in the Orlando area knows that the I-4 is like our major highway that runs right through the middle of town. And this is just a great I-4 IPA. I think I love it. We had it in our restaurant. It was really one of the top sellers because people just really love your beer.
One of the really nice things I like to say about I-4 is it's a lot easier to drink it than it is to drive it.
Agreed. And you're absolutely right, man. Anybody who lives here, and I know everyone who listens to us locally everyone's going like, hell yeah, give me another beer. And Orlando's become such a beer city.
We're hoping.
I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, you know, and it's incredible that it's such a beer city and it stays in great shape. I don't know how these guys do it, you know, and the girls, they all stay in great shape and drink major amounts of beer. I drink little, you know, I eat very little and drink a lot of beer, and I got the big belly. I just don't get it. But
it's what happens when you get older.
Hey, man.
Just repositions itself from your arms to your waist.
Good Lord. What has happened? The time, it's just not right. Time is a bitch. So, tell me about this space. You've been here how long?
We've actually been here, we're coming up on 16 years, actually, but 15 years we've been open as an organic brewery.
Organic.
Technically, we opened in August of 2002 as a brewery, and then we were eminent domain to make way for the South Street exit. And they moved us to the current location where you're sitting now.
Okay.
And so the state basically paid for that move, which was very nice because we couldn't have done that. And we've been here 16 years. It took us about 15 months to do the build out. And we've been open since the 7th of April, which is coming up next month.
Wow, absolutely.
And that will be our 15th anniversary of being an organic certified organic brewery.
Well, I mean, and that gives it even that much more value to enjoy it because it is indeed organic. And, I mean, you know what? I mean, there's just an old tradition. Like, I've been in Germany. I spent some time in the south of Germany in Bavaria, and the beer culture is very much...
you got hooked then.
Oh, yeah. Very much part of, like, life.
Yeah.
And these Hofbraus, you know, that are just, like, massive beerness. You know, that's the vibe I get here. I dig that, you know? So I'm always looking for that. And then you have it here, and it's just, like, really cool. You know, it's nice to see. In Orlando, you know, once again, it's such a beer town, you know, and that you know, you get to do your thing now. You know, you have food here as well, right?
We have a chef who comes in on occasion. We have a bunch of food trucks when we do our monthly markets. We'll have 6, 7 different food vendors, which is really nice. Going from barbecue to vegan to pizza to tacos to ramen noodles to what's the other? Oh, another vegetarian. But
vegetarians, huh?
Yeah. There's a bunch of them.
Oh yeah. Nothing like a vegetarian. You know, I don't know if they can drink that much beer with all that without any of that grease in their bellies. But my mom's a vegetarian. She actually raised us that way, so it's one of those things in life.
That's why you're a chef now, right?
Yeah. I think that's why I've discovered like great flavors and things that are unconventional. Unlike just a great steak, you know, find that the cucumber can taste just as delicious.
I like cucumbers.
Me too. I put a ton of chili on them, you know, and salt and lemon or lime. So that's nice. You've been here. You have great staff. You have kind of a really cool vibe. You got the really hip tunes going. I was kind of surprised to hear some like hip tunes going on, and it's just so Orlando.
You can blame the bartender on that. We let the bartender pick the music that they want during their shift, and that it's always worked out well.
And you have regulars, I imagine, all the time, huh?
Yep. Well, there's a table of them over behind my left shoulder that come in every Monday to pick my pocket because they know it's Mug Monday, and so they bring in their mugs that they got from previous Oktoberfest, which are usually somewhere around 22-ounce containers. And so they bring those in, and they just pay a pint price for them.
Wow, now that's a deal. I mean, you know, okay, you had to do the time. You had to come to the Oktoberfest. You had to get the mug. You had to come back. You had to get another beer. But, man, that is awesome. I mean, and I can see that they're definitely pretty relaxed and at home here.
Yeah.
Once again, I mean, nothing says, you know, like, I want to spend time here. I want to spend my money here when it's comfortable. And that's definitely the vibe you got here. And, of course, you're the host with the most. You got it all going on.
One of the neat things that I have noticed, especially since COVID is starting to wane a little bit, is we're seeing more women here. Their women are bringing their boyfriends.
Nice.
And, you know, hey, you know, it's date night. You know, husbands bring their wives, and it's become a nice place where you come and spend time together. You know, you don't need to be entertained. You know, you can sit there and talk to your wife and girlfriend and friends and
drink beer.
And drink beer, yeah. It makes perfectly good sense to me.
I agree. The ladies know something. They're just working it. Beer is the way to go, though. So how many beers do you serve here?
Right now we have 36 different beers on tap. We had 37, but we put a cider on.
Okay.
And that's from the local winery over off of Mills.
All right.
And we try and support local when we need something. We try and go that route.
But all the beers are definitely yours.
Yes, 36 of them on tap right now. Every one of them an organic beer.
I mean, that's incredible, people. I mean, you got to see this wall of taps. And in any other restaurant or any other brewery, anywhere you would go, you'd see that many taps. You'd expect to see all the old school, like major, like commercial beers. But they're all brewed here. And there's just something very special about that. When somebody is so dedicated to their craft where they can offer you 36 different beers. All with this, just the intensity, the complexity and flavors, and I think that's just amazing. I mean, I got to give you a lot of credit for that. That's an amazing, thing to pull off, because as a chef, I'm always looking to feed people and give them new things to eat and different things to eat. And, people... But such a labor of love. It's such a hard job. And then I see 36 beers, and I see all the vats. I went into the warehouse. I saw all these vats, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, look at this place. It's incredible.
It's fun, too.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. No, I know it's fun. I look at you. I know you're having a great time. There's no doubt in my mind that you're having a good time with all this. And I love it. I'm going to take a big guzzle of this beer and I'm getting a little bit of, my like little squint. Anyone knows me knows that I start to squint when I start drinking, and I love it. Yeah, I tell you, I mean, this is the kind of place where I'm thinking to myself, like, I want some French fries. It's crazy, but...
Well, the next location will have food.
I mean, I hear that you are thinking about something like that, and that's exciting.
Yes, to me, it's very exciting. I would never have to leave the brewery.
Is it top secret still?
Yes, we haven't signed any paperwork.
Okay.
In fact, the people that are buying the building we're going into haven't finished their due diligence and
nice
stuff. So as soon as there is something, I'm hoping that by the 7th of April we'll have architectural drawings and some type of notice that we can let people know that, yes, we are moving. Here's where we are moving. This is what it's going to look like. And if you want to volunteer to help, then put your name on the list.
Well, I'll volunteer to help for beer. I mean, I've always said I work for beer. That's no problem. I'm a cook, for God's sakes.
When we did the build out here, we got a couple of kegs left over from the old place, and we had them in cold storage, and we'd bring one out every weekend. And we'd put it in a bucket of ice, and we would drink that and do all the work that we needed to do, and got quite a bit done on beer.
I love that. He built it on beer. And literally, this is built on beer. I mean, who's going to deny it? This is this is Orlando Brewing. This is, to me, like, it was really, when I got here to Orlando, it was really just kind of like that stamp where I said, like, wow, this is Orlando's beer. There's a lot of breweries. There's a lot of people doing it. But you know what? You kind of really locked it down. I believe that you are the one, and I love that, and I'm glad we're friends. And I say to myself, you know what? I'm lucky because I'm a beer guy. I'm a food guy. I remember we had your beers in our restaurant in downtown, and we're currently discussing putting some custom beers into our, our newer projects. And it's just like amazing to work with you, But I have to ask about these pictures on the walls here. There's some big pictures on the far right wall, and they're pretty big. They're like 3, 4, 5 feet. Who are these people?
Well, these are part of our, the brewery collection, but they were done by Gabe LeBlanc, who was a very dear friend of mine. He's since passed away. But we keep those pictures up there in honor of the fact that he was such a good friend. He was the guy that we're getting ready to leave at 10 o'clock, and he'd come racing in, and we go, oh hell, we got Gabed,
Everyone's got one of those guys, huh?
Yeah, but that was funny. He the reason that those pictures are hanging on the wall is because my little brother got promoted to Major General. And I was his older brother who was in the Army, and I medically retired as a captain. My oldest brother retired as a major, so he pinned the first star on, and I pinned the next two. And Gabe took pictures of it and put it into a book. And there was no way that I could say no to him hanging pictures on the wall, even though that I tell people, no, that's not me, but he is certainly a good-looking guy.
And this is you.
That is me a couple of years ago.
Looks like a movie star, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. They just know that part.
And then the next picture is a picture of Everyday Ghost, which was a band that started here and ended here.
Nice.
And the middle picture is Kat. She was Kat King. She was behind the bar for, good God, 9 years.
Wow, nice smile.
And she has since moved to Idaho, worked for the Forest Service, ended up getting married, and is now living in Israel.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so she's done quite a bit. The next picture over is Curtis, one of our regulars. Came in all the time, and we all used to get together to work on bikes. I don't ride bikes or anything like that, but I like hanging around, drinking beer, and talking about stuff. And so we probably spent about nine months. Every Thursday night we'd go and we'd play around with a motorcycle, add whatever new parts we got, but that was always fun. And then the last picture is one of the drum circle people was here. We used to do first Sunday of the month was drum circle. Oh, and they'd come in and they'd beat on the drums and had a little bonfire and stuff. And if you look real close, you can see all the Orlando Brewing kegs in the background. But it's a little easier to see when the lights are up. But that's part of our permanent.
And I love it. It adds just an Americana to it as well. There's just such a good feel from it.
It's just regular people.
The smiles, the smirks, the drum circle. I love a drum circle. And once again, I go back. You see, there's definitely something going on here. There's a vibe going on. And the drum circle always brings people together. Beer brings people together. And good people bring people together, and I think you've got that going on here for sure. That's a beautiful thing. And this place has got the high ceilings, and and I know one thing. Even if you do move this, I know you're going to bring the same vibe because I can feel it. It's definitely...
We already got the shit to hang on the walls.
There you go. Shit, I wish I could pull that off in restaurants, but people expect so much, so I might have to get into the beer business, I tell you.
Oh, that'd be a good thing then.
Yeah, I agree. Well, who knows, I tell you. It would probably be the end of me because I would probably just, you know what they used to say? I guess it was Scarface that said, don't get high on your own supply. I don't think I could handle it with the beer. With my own brewery, I would be drinking to no end.
Well, actually, when you first start, you do that.
Yeah.
After a while, you go, because normally I don't drink until 5.
Yeah, I think you got to set some hours.
And then I quit usually at 6 in the morning. No, I'm kidding.
That's awesome because I used to run like that myself. I would drink all night till dawn. It was just another time in my life when I was a lot younger.
Yep, and you realize that that doesn't work very well.
I like to sleep now.
Yeah.
I like to sleep. Even though I'm up earlier these days, I just feel like, oh no, I like to sleep. And honestly, beer always helps me sleep really good.
And I've found the same. I sleep very well at night when I've been drinking a couple of organic beers.
So you're here. You have Instagram. It's Orlando Brewing, right? That's your Instagram, and you definitely got to check it out. It's awesome. You get to see some of the inside, the inside part of just like this brewery, the kegs, the works from there, the different people that come through here, the different bartenders. Just a great feeling. And what can I say, man? I think I need another beer. That's the best part.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there was the break in this. So that we could get a beer, or we can send our waiter off.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. tell you what, we're trying to get more beers. Where is that? Yeah, I tell you, it's one of those things. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I'm going to pour myself another beer here because I actually need another beer. So here we go. I'm going to take another big guzzle of it. And, yep. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Constant Transports. All right. You look for them on www.constanttransports.com and visit their Instagram, Constant Transports as well. And they will take good care of you if you need to transport anything. So that is one of our major sponsors. Of course, another one of our major sponsors is Orlando Brewing. And only because they give us beer all the time, and I'm always drinking it, and I love that part. And so thank you to John as well for that.
You know, I like that too. You know, it's like being a chef when you see somebody and they take a bite, and then you just see them sit there and go, ah, and you just wait for that. I mean, one of my favorite things to see is when people come up and get a tray of samplers, and they pick it up, and you see this grin start to go across their face.
Yeah.
And they're looking at that tray and they're just starting to grin, and then they look up and everybody's watching them and they kind of humbly walk out with their beers. But it's always a blast. One way to keep in touch with us at the brewery is to sign up for the newsletter. And if anybody hasn't done that, I would highly recommend it. It comes out once a week. Says what's going on the weekend, what events we have, what beers we have coming up that we're getting ready to release. But that's OrlandoBrewing.com.
There you go.
And just sign up for the newsletter. It comes out once a week. And probably the biggest thing that we have going right now is, and I would want everyone to do this, but there is a craft beer bill that is moving through the Florida legislature. So if you know any representatives or senators of the state legislature, please let them know that you support the craft brew bill, because what that'll do is that'll give us, the brewery, the right to sell our beer ourselves.
Nice.
Currently, I'm required to go through a distributor, which you can talk to just about anybody that has a business about the distribution. But one of the things that it would do, it would allow us to sell directly to the retailer, and that's as I said, going through the Senate and the House right now. And it's very, very important that people speak up about this because breweries have been devastated, restaurants have been devastated because of this. This pandemic that we have going on, and I think it's really important that people allow breweries to break the chains from the distribution system so that we can now sell beer to anyone that wants it and not have to worry about breaking the law.
Nice. I like that. No, that's great. And you know, honestly, that's where it's at. You got to get the beer to the people, and the people need to decide. So call your senators, call your congressmen, make that happen. It's called what?
The Craft Beer Bill.
Craft Beer Bill, not to be confused with Wild Bill Cody. You might be confused here sometimes, but I tell you what, this has been just exciting. I think it's always great to meet, to introduce you all to great people. I think John is one of those people that is just unique in this world to meet because he's just a great guy. He's got a great look. Go to my Instagram. You'll see it. And go to their Instagram and follow. Get on their newsletter as well. Definitely, if you want to transport anything, Constant Transports, that's where you got to go. And remember, everybody, John, any last words before we sign off?
Well, the only thing that I can say is that we have our anniversary coming up on the 7th of April.
Nice.
We're going to start the festivities on the weekend before because the 7th just magically appeared on a Wednesday. So now we have 2 weekends we can play with.
There you go.
And we plan on doing a lot. We got an Anisocoria tasting, which is our barley wine. The first one we made in 2008 is about 18%.
Ooh.
The Anasacoria 2.0 we made in, 2018, 10 years later, and it's now, 2 years old, and it's sitting around 12%, and you can taste the similarities. The beauty of that style of beer is that it's got so much alcohol in it that you don't taste the hops, and it's got so much hops in it that you don't taste the alcohol.
Interesting.
So it appears to be the most balanced beer you've ever tasted for those that are connoisseurs of beer.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this, more beer. I love this place. So there you have it, everybody. What can I say? I'm going to sip on some more beer. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to chat more with John. But all of y'all, it's always a pleasure to have you here with me and us. So remember, survival of the fittest is the soup du jour. I'm Roberto Treviño. I'm here with John Cheek. Come by, come to Orlando Brewing. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you soon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Love y'all. Take care.
God bless America.
God bless America.